Hare Krishna and welcome to our new video series that's entitled Ways to Welcome Krishna into Your Heart and Home. I'm really looking forward to this because I feel I could have used a video series like this when I first started looking into Krishna Consciousness. I'm hoping to share with you all the little things to do at home that can help you to bring you closer to Krishna. And it's up to you how much you take on, if you take on a little bit or a lot. But I encourage you to try everything at least a couple of times and see how you feel. And sometimes the more you do something, the more natural it becomes and the more you love doing it. So that's the main reason I'm sharing this with you today. This is our introduction, and today I'm just going to touch a little bit on what we're going to cover in future. So just a little bit of each so you know what to expect. But in the future, I'm also hoping to have other devotees come on and just share a little bit of what they do in their homes as well, because it may be different for everyone. Some people may do more or less than I do. But I think that if you hear from a range of people, it gives you more of an understanding of what you may do to help welcome Krishna into your heart and home. So the first one we've got that I'd like to share with you today is japa meditation. And we keep our japa bag nice and clean. So I have multiple bags, so if it starts to look like it needs clean, pops in the wash, gets washed separately. But just to make sure that everything to do with Krishna is clean, I've got my little Radha Krishna on the front and my counter. And then on the side, I've got the Maha mantra, maybe you can see it there, which is the Hare Krishna mantra. And then inside, just find the opening there, we have our beads inside. So we're quite modest about them. We don't wear them around our neck. We don't wrap them around our wrist or have them out for everyone to see. I do a lot of my japa at home or when I go for walks. It's something that we say out loud, but not too loud. So it's a personal meditation on Krishna. So you can do it in a class as well, but mostly I do mine alone. And I actually really enjoy that time every day to just get a little bit closer to Krishna, and it helps us to always remember Krishna and never forget him. So that's the first thing. The next thing that I'll show you today is that I also do altar worship. So we have an altar at our center, but we also have an altar in our home for me. And we have the photo up the front is Srila Prabhupada, he's my spiritual grandfather. And then my deities, which I have up here, are Gaura Nitai. And I have a small Srila Prabhupada here. And then my spiritual father here, which is Bir Krishna Goswami Maharaj. And I'll tell you all about those as we go when it comes to the day that we do this altar worship. I also have the 6 Goswamis here, and I've just got decorated in yellow flowers today with some petals, mainly roses. Okay, so the next thing that we wanted to look at is that I also every day look at spiritual texts. So it can change every day. At the moment I'm studying Bhagavad-Gita as part of a course I'm doing. I've read it before, but this is a more in-depth course. And there are places that I can refer you to that do these courses a bit more in depth, but that's something that I'm doing at the moment. I also do a class online every day with my spiritual teacher, Guru Maharaj. And of course, there's different ways. If you don't like to read or if you have poor eyesight, you can also listen to lectures. So you can get a lot online. You can go to your local preaching centre or temple, and there's all different ways that you can practice this yourself or with a group. So I actually find that it is nice to study yourself, but if you go to a group, sometimes people will ask questions that you just don't think of. So that's something to consider. And if you need any help with getting your own scripture or getting to a class, I can help you with that as well. Just let me know. The next thing, and this is the way that I came to Krishna Consciousness, is kirtan. So it's singing the Lord's names and forms, and it's just a way to spiritualize music. You can do it at home, you can do it in your car, but honestly, going to temple or going to Sankirtan are probably the ways that you'll get the most benefit. So if you go to a centre or a temple, they'll have one person that leads and the congregation repeats that. So it's actually a really nice way to share. And then you may have seen the Hare Krishnas in the streets, which is called Sankirtan, and they sing as they walk, and people can join in and drop off whenever they feel like it. It's actually a really big hit around schoolies time as well. Everyone loves to join in, so I've even seen police join in. It's really great. It's a little bit hard the first time, the first few times, but I think that the more you go, the easier it will get. But I actually like going to a temple or center to do mine, but a lot of people love Sankirtan. Another way is meditation. So you can meditate on what you've read in the Bhagavad-Gita, what you've thought about that day, something you've been told, a lecture that you've heard. And I actually found that this wasn't something that I took to naturally. It did take a little while for me. But after a while, I think the more that you learn and the more that you hear, the easier it will become for you as well. So that's something that we really will delve into. Attending temple. This is amazing. The first time I went, I have to say, I was overwhelmed, and in a good way. There's just a lot of people that are busy, very busy. So they don't necessarily have time for the very first time to go through absolutely everything. So you'll find that, you'll learn a little bit each time you go. And I am going to have a separate video series which is called Come to Temple with Me. And that is going to be about telling you exactly what happens, how to prepare before you go, what happens when you get there, how to offer your obeisances, the whole way through. And hopefully when you go the first time, it will be a little bit easier for you to understand everything, because I actually felt like that was something that I really could have used when I first went to temple. It gets easier as you go, but just something to prepare you for the first time you go. So that's something that will be coming very soon. Prasadam. When you attend temple or the center, there will be prasadam afterwards. Prasadam is a special foods that you offer to the Lords, which you can do at home to your own altar. And once you've offered that to the Lord, it becomes spiritualized. So I'll show you how to do that at home in this series, but then when we do the other series, we'll also show you how that works there, because it's on a grand scale, of course, and show you how it's served out and everything, because it's quite wonderful to see. And I suppose the last thing we'll probably touch on is devotional service. So your home service, your sadhana, is something that you do yourself and it's private, or with your family, or if you have friends over, but generally it's fairly private with you and your family. Then there's also service in your preaching centre or temple that you can partake in any way. And it's not just about altar worship, it's administration, it could be accounting, it could be printing flyers, it could be cleaning the temple. There's lots and lots of ways that you can contribute to attending service. So we'll also go through what your devotional service could look like in another video. So I guess the main thing I'd like you to take from today is that when you welcome Krishna into your heart and home, it becomes a temple. So your home becomes a temple because you're opening up your home to Krishna and devotees, and your heart and body becomes a temple and mind because you're welcoming Krishna into your heart. So that's something that I really love to hear. And in saying that, cleanliness is also important. So in each step I'll go through how cleanliness is done, how you can be clean before you start each of these different things, and also what it means and what difference it can make to yourself as well as to your practice. So it can help cleanse, like devotional service and japa and everything that we've talked about can help cleanse your heart and your mind. So it works both ways. We reciprocate and we clean for the Lord and we clean in the temple, and we'll go through all of that as well. So when you practice kirtan, meditation, japa, devotional service, whatever you choose, it's all about remembering Krishna, bringing Krishna into your heart, or in this instance, into your home, and how that is going to be so special for you and everyone around you. I really look forward to sharing this video series with you, as well as the next one, but we'll do this one first. Don't forget also, we've got the video series You're Not That Body, which will continue on because it's such a broad topic and there's so much I feel that I want to share there. And I really look forward to serving you. If you have any questions or any topics that you'd like to discuss, please shoot me a message. I'm very happy to help. And if you need a copy of your own Bhagavad-Gita or other spiritual text, or if you need to get in touch with a preaching centre or temple, please let me know. I'm sure that there's a contact there that I can hook you up with so that you can experience this for yourself. I very much look forward to serving you. Hare Krishna.